Working today on the couch. Big computer's over there. I'm having a good time over here. So this was cozy. Thought I'd record the video. I bought Chime's Patreon. If you don't know who Chime is, he's like the father of color bass. He's a legendary producer. He's made a lot of fantastic music you've probably heard, even if you don't know him. He has a TikTok that I've followed for a while that's wonderfully wholesome, and it's got some great little, bits of content about being a producer DJ and about, how to make stuff. And he has a Patreon as well that he plugged recently. He has a free Vital plugin that he dropped to advertise his Patreon, and it absolutely worked because I just ended up buying the $20 tier, which came with like 2 sample packs and like 20 hours of tutorials. I'm really excited to go through those tutorials. Today I've just been exploring the first of the sample packs that I grabbed and trying to see what I can glean from these patches. Now that I have the patches that make the sounds in front of me, let me see if I can take them apart a little bit and learn a little bit about them. The first thing I've learned about is this dirty bandpass notch. I think that's what this is supposed to stand for. I don't actually know what BPN stands for, but this is what this patch sounds like. Cool sound, right? Very, very simple in terms of effects, just some distortion, chorus, and a compressor. That has one thing he did a lot in these patches that was a little bit disappointing. Not disappointing, but just in like he has different noise in the samplers. He has a little like his own, like the pack came with a whole bunch of like noise samples, and these are all like, some of them are very, very sound defining. This one not so much. If I just solo the sound here. It's got a pitch to it, but I think it's probably coming from this. Yeah. This is just coming from, this is just a noise, right? This sounds like a normal kind of noise sound. But some of the other ones, it's like, wow, the whole shape of this sound is coming from this noise sample that you clearly made and then put into this pack. And I don't know how you made that, so I still don't understand where the sound's really coming from. It's just kind of like if I download a splice sample, right? But obviously he's trying to make sounds that are completely contained within Vital. This is an awesome service, and some of these samples are great. I'm really excited to use them in music I'm making. But this guy in particular, this is a cool sound. This is the kind of sound I've been trying to make for a while, and I was excited to see how's he doing this. I'm like looking at the effects. Okay, we got some like really hard distortion here, so let's turn off the distortion. Okay, it's lighter, but that's still, I thought that kind of overtone sound was coming from the distortion. The distortion is definitely maximizing it there. If I turn these off, we still have that sound. Okay, kind of like an overtone. Okay, well this looks like overtones, right? We have kind of a sub, and then we have this wave that's a very sinusoidal wave. It's kind of moving. Maybe that's it. So let's turn that off, and okay, we still have that kind of overtony sound of like a fundamental, and then like at like 40 semitones above it, like 3 octaves plus a third. That sort of sound that I thought that was coming from this, but I guess it's not. If I turn off the noise, just the bass wave is making that sound, and you can look, nothing's even automating the pitch to move, so it's definitely not pitch related. The only thing that's moving here in this situation, because everything's turned off at this point, it's just a wave here that doesn't have any manipulation on it. Nothing on this is moving except for this low pass over here that's wiggling, and again, that's still low pass, that's just a filter. So it's this guy, it's this filter, right? And if we turn this off, we confirm that, yes, that is just a sub. And somehow, this shape, which is highlighting one frequency and then taking a frequency out, somehow taking a frequency out is creating this one pitch. It's going from the bottom down here, but like down 2 octaves to that. How is that doing that? Right, if I move this, it highlights a different pitch there, that doesn't make any sense. This shape doesn't make any sense, but it seems to be that this is because it is a dirty BPN. If I switch to the analog BPN, that's what I expected that to sound like, right? If you don't have good headphones on, you won't hear that. Actually, let me just play a higher one. It's just the same pitch, right? That's the pitch that I'm playing there. If I turn this filter off, it's just that sound, right? And so it's taking one frequency in that overtone series and kind of highlighting it really quickly, flipping it to a notch where it's taking it out. That's what I thought that would sound like. And there's part of me that always kind of wondered what the difference between dirty and analog was. I kind of always thought maybe like the edges of the shape were more like jagged or something. But if we switch back to it, you can hear there's an overtone that's kind of popping through there. And what's interesting is the drive is completely down, right? If I turn the drive up, actually, it changes it dramatically. And starts to become more like what we thought it would sound like. So I don't know what that is and like why that works that way. But if I turn this and like it starts to be just more like what you think it is, and you turn it all the way up. I don't know, now it's like, that's what I thought that would sound like with more drive, right? So fascinating to learn that that was what that was, and that this little guy here is actually just kind of some overtones. Right, he's just like really high. He's 3 octaves up. That's really painful and not fun to listen to. So I don't know, it was fascinating little sound there. And this is so boring. It's fun if I just have that one filter off and have everything else on. This is such a boring sound. But then you turn this guy back on. All of a sudden, it's amazing. So filters really making a big difference there. One thing I also had never noticed about bandpass and just I think it looks like a lot of the filters here, they do move with the pitch. So you can see kind of what frequency is being taken out there is down here, and then if I play a note up here, it's taking out a frequency up there. This is more obvious on some of the like comb filter heavy ones here. Like this guy's got a comb, and if I as I move the note around, you can see that the comb moves with it. I had never noticed that because I don't think I'd messed around with comb filters enough to know that that was a thing. Here's one of the more insane sounds that I was surprised to find. He also has some of his own wavetables. I'm pretty sure this Machine FX Foley was not in my base wavetable pack. But also, interestingly enough, most of the sound is not coming from that wavetable. You can see I turn it off and it's still there. It's mainly this guy down here. If we turn this guy off, then we'll actually have nothing. This is apparently just FM, so if I turn this back on, that one's just like high edge, and this one's the lower edge. And what's happening is you have a random filter modulating the pitch of both these guys, I believe. Actually, it's really cool, too. I've learned you could just touch this, and it'll show you circles around all the things that are being modulated. So these two guys are just modulating literally just the pitch. And also, they have their pitch selection. So this one's only going between C, E flats, and Gs, while this guy's going between C, E flats, Gs, and A flat, B flat, a minor pentatonic scale. And just that moving around is kind of creating that computer glitchy sound, which is pretty cool. Really, really fun series of effects there. And then there's a little bit of, like crazy tight delay, as well as some multiband compression. What other sounds in here were pretty cool? I love this guy. This guy was pretty sick. Another thing that's just the filters. I'm excited to use that one. There's a lot of these sounds you kind of almost gets like a chroma sort of vibe going, which he does, I think, through these samples. This is a good example of kind of I didn't have access to this sound, this articulation. I don't know, it's not really a noise generator at this point, it's just operating as a sampler, but this sound is like it's just doing some kind of crazy stuff. If we turn that one off, it's still a pretty nuts sound. Like this isn't something I would have ever, I think, had the brain power to make. One of my favorite things that's happening here is you got this, you can see so many things just on this one very simple LFO here. He has the pitch plummeting for both these guys. If I trap this, you can see all the things that are being controlled by it, and it's all the pitches of all three oscillators, including the sample here, are being controlled by it. But on these two, the pitch is plummeting, it's going, and on this one, which is the one that's at 40, so 3 octaves plus a third up, it's going up, wee, and you can watch it when I play it. You see it going up there. Pretty crazy stuff. We turn this back on. Which way is this one going? This one's also going down. So, yeah, I never thought about having the pitches gonna go different directions to have that initial articulation be chaotic, but have it settle into this kind of cool, really resonant chord. So stacking flangers and comb filters like this, not something I have ever tried. I think most of the time I usually put one filter on a comb setting, and it's just so extreme and in a sound that I don't particularly like, so I don't keep with it. I never like get to the point of putting another comb filter on a second filter. I've just never done that. And this is really cool to see. He's not doing it just there, but I guess this one he doesn't. He has other ones where he's got like 3. He's got the effects filter as well, has another comb filter on it. So here's a great example of one that where this sample is doing a lot of the note shaping. wild, right? This is mainly just FMing this. It's all actually it's all it's doing, right? There's the level of this is completely down, so we're not actually listening to this sound. I'm actually curious what this sounds like if I turn this up and turn this off. Really cool sound, very complex sound as well. So this is the one again, like I don't know how he made that. So looking at this patch doesn't particularly help me understand how to make better sounds, but that's okay. It's still a sound I get to use, which is really exciting, right? Here's again, more comb filtering stuff. I think that the comb filter is maybe something I've just been overlooking when it comes to bass designs. Because I don't know, I just never have loved the way it sounds. But yeah, it's cool stuff there. Absolute Squink, I remember being cool. Yeah, crazy sound. Again, kind of same sort of basic setup here. This sound is being FM'd into a sine wave. So putting like a really complex wave into a sine wave, like a sub wave, seems to be kind of a cool way to do things. Also interesting to note that this is, I don't know how this is... Oh, I have no idea how he does that. Oh, I bet it's over here or something. It's something like maybe like this guy. Nope. I'm not sure. Is it this? Yeah, okay. That was really interesting. This is on, so it starts in just a random spot in this sample. You can kind of see by that little like lit up wave. Starts in different places. Never noticed that functionality, but it gives it a nice variety, obviously, every time you move it. So each one comes out slightly different than the last one. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, lots of fun effects here, and definitely some cool things I'm learning. Really excited to use some of these sounds in some songs, see if I can make some good bass music. It'd be really cool. And yeah, definitely go check out Chime. I'll have his Patreon link down below. That's all we had time for today, though. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.